Hey guys, what's up? It's Vane. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like I'm giving some formal presentation all over again in college, which I did a few days ago. It was awful. And I was like, pretend it's a YouTube video, Vanessa, pretend. Yeah, it didn't work. I wanted to do a video that just went over like the basics to keep in mind in the back of your head whenever you're performing a variety of exercises. In general, pretty much every exercise. These 4 things don't apply to every exercise, but just, you'll get what I'm saying. The reason we have bad form is essentially because we are overcompensating and undercompensating. So for example, if your knees are caving in, you're clearly overcompensating on using your adductors instead of your outside gluteus maximus, your abductor. So you're just using more of your adductors to push yourself up as opposed to your abductors to get yourself up. The body has a weird form in overcompensating, undercompensating, and particularly the way muscle groups are, how can I say it? The way muscle groups work with one another. I think that's like the best way I could put it. Again, overcompensating, undercompensating. When one thing's not pushing to its max, something else is, because that is undercompensating. I hope that makes sense. This chart here kind of explains a little bit more of, not explains, but it can kind of tell you more of like, if you're doing this, it's probably because you're undercompensating or overcompensating this. So for the first general overall thing you should never do, I'm just gonna call these the no-nos. So the first no-no ever. So the first no-no is to always have a neutral back. Whenever you're squatting, you don't want your back falling forward. Whenever you're front squatting, you don't want your back falling forward. Whenever you're doing Romanian deadlifts and you're pulling it up, you don't want your back caving in. Any exercise, you don't want your back caving in. And it's crucial that you do this. You don't want to hurt your back. It will not be a fun time. Hey guys, what's up? It's Vanessa. Why am I saying my intro to my YouTube video? Whatever, let's just keep rolling with this. I've been recording this a million times. I'm done. Okay. Letting the weight fall forward. Your probable underactive muscles are your latissimus dorsi and your intrinsic core stabilizers. So you're not using your core to balance your upper body and keep yourself up. And this will really hurt your erector spine. With front squats, it's pretty hard to not stay neutral because if you round out like that, you'll drop the weight. In this next clip, my boyfriend's going to show you guys what I've seen a few people do. Like they come up and go on their tippy toes. You want to make sure your feet stay flat and your head doesn't do what his is doing, looking all the way down at the floor the entire time. You want a neutral back, a neutral spine, a neutral head. And then this is the correct form. On deadlifts, you don't want your back to round out. And thank you, Austin, for participating in my video. Whenever he goes at the top, his back is hyperextending. You do not want to hyperextend. Now, as you can see, he is going straight up, neutral, and not hyperextending. The second exercise that's a big no-no is your knees caving in, usually known as knock knees, and that happens most of the time when people have flat feet. It still happens to people who don't have flat feet, but it's very common. Anytime that someone's like coming up on a squat, they just feel like they need that extra strength and they start using their adductors instead of their abductors, the booty. And you don't want to do that either. Having your knees cave in is not good. You don't want your knees to hurt. I mean, overall, I hope everyone's goal is longevity. We want to be able to go to the gym for as long as possible. We don't want to hurt ourselves within the first few months, years. We want that longevity. Whenever you're squatting, you don't want your knees to cave in. Whenever you're doing lunges, don't let your knees cave in. When you're going up the Stairmaster, you don't want your knees to cave in. In any exercise, you don't want your knees to cave in. It's not good. You don't want your knees popping. You don't want your knees falling out, whatever. You want to stay safe, right? Am I right? Whenever I was a beginner, a big problem for me was letting my knees come in, and it doesn't really happen a lot in the eccentric part of the squat. It usually just happens in the concentric portion. Like I mentioned earlier, your probable overactive muscle is your adductor complex, and your probable underactive muscle is your gluteus medius and your maximus. Something that has helped me not let my knees cave in is to sometimes put a resistance band around my legs. That could be an option for you guys. Just try it out. It may help. It kind of just serves as a reminder, like as you're going down, you'll feel the band bring your knees in and you'll automatically feel forced to push your knees out. So try that. It may help you. When it comes to lunges, you first and foremost want to make sure that you are starting out with light weight. You don't want to do super heavy or even use any weight at all. Try body weight first. Make sure that your knee doesn't cave in and then slowly adjust and add weight accordingly. I know lunges can be a tougher movement just because it's a lot of balance since you're only using one leg, but it does take practice. Use body weight first. I love to push off with my heel and put all the weight on my heel and make sure that my toes are like spread out. I really have my entire foot grasped to the floor as close as possible. That's why I wear Converse, because it allows me to be able to grasp the floor without sliding in my shoe. Whenever you're doing any form of step-ups, try to come down slowly. Don't just jump off. And the third no-no is to have soft knees. Now on the leg press, I'm sure you guys have heard this before, to not lock out your knees. Whatever your reason may be, mine is for safety. I have locked out one knee and I've started to feel the weight coming forward, and thank God my other knee helped. I mean, my other knee wasn't locked out and it pushed the weight back, because one of my knees, like, it was really awkward. It was like this, and then I just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like I had a little electric shock. I don't know what was going on, but I was so scared. I was like, thank goodness my other knee was still available. And I'll play this clip of me doing Romanian deadlifts with my knee caved in. It looks so painful. Let me tell you, it was very painful to do. It just, ouchie, 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 ouchie. Again, your knees, you want them soft knees. Like cable kickbacks, you always want that other leg relaxed. You don't want it stiff. It's not comfortable. As you guys can tell in this video of the Romanian deadlifts, it looks so painful. Like my knees are completely straight. They're not soft knees. It's just not natural. You can hurt yourself. Don't do it. Stay away. As you can see, your neck, this is so crucial. Have your neck be neutral as your back goes down. Let your let your head come down with it. You don't want your body to be down and your neck facing up. You want a neutral upper body completely. And use your hamstrings and glutes to really pull through. Don't use your lower back. You don't want to hurt yourself. And then the last exercise, how I mentioned, locking out your knees on the leg press. Ouchie, that also just looks so painful looking at it. So what I was talking about is, in the video, one day I had my knee locked out and the other one was, the weight started coming down, but thank God the other one helped me get it up. It was so scary. I had like 3 or 4 plates on there, which may not seem like a lot, but if your knees are locked out and you're not focused, you can really hurt yourself and the leg press can come down and kill ya. So those are the 3 main things. I thought there was 4, I apologize. So it's just make sure your back doesn't cave in. You want a neutral back for every exercise, like literally back extensions. When you're doing bicep curls, you don't want to be forward. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you want a neutral back. Neutral back. Sorry about that scratching noise. I don't know what my cat's doing. Bobby! Bobby! It's time to cut it. Anyway, your knees don't cave in any exercise. And your knees, soft knees. Soft knees, bounce with me. Soft knees, you don't want them locked out, unnatural, uncomfortable, un-gym person. Bye, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I keep doing this too. Like, am I bringing back the peace sign? I feel like such a loser, but I always tell everyone bye like this. Mom, dad, coworker, boyfriend, everyone. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let me know if you like this type of video down in the comment section below so I know to keep doing this kind of format. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day. Again with the peace sign. Oh my gosh.